The National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Jos, has declared former Governor Simon Lalong winner of the Plateau South Senatorial election against the People's Democratic Party's Napoleon Bali. The three-member panel held that the votes scored by the PDP candidate were wasted votes as he was invalidly nominated. The justices ruled that as of the time of the nomination, the PDP had no valid structure in Plateau State. Also, Fom Cholom of the Labour Party was declared winner of the National Assembly elections for Barkin-Ladi Rayom Federal Constituency after challenging the declaration of Peter Gendeng of the PDP, who has now been sacked.
Today is a very, very happy day to the glory of God. We have been in court since 8 a.m. We got the first judgment in our favor. Now the second judgment involving the former governor of the state, Sir Simon Lalong, has just been delivered in his favor. The court held that PDP was not qualified to have even contested in that election. Therefore, all the votes given to the PDP were wasted votes.
Well, like we say as lawyers, the tribunal has spoken. We know in law, whatever the tribunal, the court holds, that is the decision before sin is set aside or affirmed. Now, the good thing is that this is a tribunal of first instance. We have one more step, and that step is the Court of Appeal.
Joining us now is Senator Napoleon Bali, member representing Plateau South Senatorial District at the National Assembly, who has vowed to appeal the Plateau State and National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal judgment that nullified his election. Good morning, Senator Bali, and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning.
Well, good morning, Senator. Thank you for joining us. Well, I mean, Ayo has already introduced the subject, and, as has been pointed out, we've been told that you are going to the Court of Appeal. But what are your chances? Because the tribunal has simply confronted you with what would seem like the Zamfara situation, saying that, look, you were not validly nominated because the PDP at the time of your nomination even had no structure in the state. In other words, nothing can stand on nothing. And on the basis of that, the tribunal said votes for you were wasted votes. And yet, you are still optimistic?
Okay, once again, thank you very much, and good morning to all of you there and our viewers. Let me start by saying that the issue of Zamfara cannot be the same with the issue of Plateau State. Zamfara elections were conducted under the 2010 Electoral Act, signed by former President Goodluck Jonathan. Plateau State election was conducted under the 2022 Electoral Act. And like I am a retired military general, I'm not a lawyer, but I want the lawyers to please pardon me if I go beyond, but I'll try not to go beyond. What I'm saying is that we are all Nigerians and we need to be patriotic. That is the only thing that can propel this country. I've just been giving you this day newspaper where President Tinubu has signed or lifted a ban. Many Nigerians want to travel to Dubai. That is to say, all of us want good things. Now, let's come to the main issue. Ordinarily, I am a Democrat now. I wouldn't have gone for appeal. But the overwhelming protests and outrage at the Plateau Southern Zone, I can tell you, with these difficulties, people are contributing money that I must appeal. Of course, I've listened to them. Now, let's go into the facts of the matter. I have been made to understand that when a Supreme Court has passed a judgment, it becomes a law. I have a Supreme Court judgment released by the law magazine, Abdullahi versus Agungu. The issue of leadership and membership of, and I quote, the issue of leadership, membership and sponsorship of any political party is completely an internal affair of a party. And it is within the political party's jurisdiction and is a no-go area for any court, as they lack jurisdiction to dwell into it. The rest are just there. This is Supreme Court. This is supposed to be a law. Now, let's come to the facts of PDP. We have two tribunal panels sitting in Plateau State, or three, but two of them are handling national election matter. One is being led by Justice Williams, Rotimi, Olamide, while the other one is being headed, the one that passed my own judgment, headed by Justice Mahmoud Tukuru. Now, Justice Williams, in his wisdom, try as much as possible to look at this. Now, the facts of the matter is that Plateau State conducted her state congresses on the 25th of September 2021. INEC witnessed it. The report was tendered before the tribunal. Again, the National Working Committee of the PDP, they were the ones who supervised the ad hoc delegates thing that produced us during the primaries. Our forms were signed by the National Organizing Secretary, one Bature. These things were carefully done because I am sure you all know that it is the duty of a political party to sponsor candidates. These are facts of the matter. The third fact again, in the same just, we have two appeal court judgments. One appeal court said, that was last year, that we did not have a structure, that's PDP. The recent appeal court, which is Tim Cook versus PDP, clearly stated that the People's Democratic Party has complied and has a valid structure. These appeal court's judgments are there. Justice William, in his wisdom, relied on these facts, and that was why he gave 7 judgments in favor of PDP. For whatever reason, that is Justice William and the other 2 justices in panel 2. For whatever reason why Justice Tukur and the other 2 justices turned their eyes on these facts, and I have them here, if you want, you are recorded, you can go and investigate, and said he has jurisdiction that the PDP, and I quote him, because this was a judgment he has already done, that Napoleon Bali, Simon Bakola Long has been elected Napoleon Nullified because the tribunal agreed with the submission of the petitioner that PDP is in disobedience to court order. For God's sake, let Nigerians know which disobedience. It was Bitrus Kaze that took PDP to court. The election that was conducted on the 25th of September 2021, Bitrus Kaze took part. The video was played before the tribunal, that is the governorship tribunal. All the INEC reports clearly stating that they are all repeated congresses. Can you now clearly, with clear questions, say that PDP Plateau State is still in disobedience to court order? This is a question Nigerians should look at it very well, and I think the judiciary should look at these issues very well. Because if 2 panels are sitting within the same complex, and one chairman is saying one thing, another one is saying 180 degrees something off, come on, for God's sake. Something is definitely wrong. Are they not doing a coordinating conference? Because the ground one is all the same. Whether you are in House of Assembly, Senator, or House of Reps, the ground one, they are all the same.
All right, okay, so let's talk about, before we got to this point, one of the reasons why your votes have been said by the courts to be wasted is that the process that saw you emerge as the candidate of the PDP in itself was flawed. Seeing that there was no structure, you know, Dr. Bati had mentioned that earlier. I'd like you to share with us, what is the status of the PDP in Plateau State currently? You've been enmeshed in crisis, and so you've been unable, I mean, and it's now, at least at this level, cost you your seat. I know you're going to appeal, so until we get that judgment, what currently exists is that you have been, your seat has been, your victory has been nullified, saying that your votes are wasted. But what's the current status of the PDP? Because if that's held by the court, it means you're not also qualified to contest if perhaps you were even pushing for a rerun. What's the status of the PDP in Plateau State currently?
PDP in Plateau State is clearly, like I told you, we have an appeal court judgment. Augustus Temguk versus PDP. the learned justices of the appeal court, the same court in Jos, appeal court in Jos, that where we are going to, stated, and I quote, PDP has complied with Justice Gang's order that we should go for a repeat. These things are there. You can investigate. So as I'm talking to you now, and this was exactly what Justice William Olamide relied on and passed a judgment that PDP has a well-constituted structure. By the way, my being a senator or House of Reps member, what has that got to do with the PDP structure in Plateau State? My form was signed by the National Working Committee in Abuja. PDP is a registered party, and the Supreme Court clearly stated, unless the justices the Justice Tukuru is trying to tell us that the Supreme Court, the PDP has been deregistered. If not, how do you justify this? And recently, if you remember APM versus Vice President Shetima, the appeal court, that is the Presidential Election Tribunal sitting in Abuja, clearly stated that APM, are you in APC? Why are you prognosing into the affairs of APC? Now the question is, even if PDP is not clearly constituted, why is the justice prognosing into the affairs of, is Lalong in PDP? No. So, like I told you, these issues is not a do or die affair. We are going to challenge it in the appeal court, but at the end of it all, whatever that the decision of the appeal court, I'm going to take it in good faith. After all, like I told you, I left the military and I felt I still have to contribute in developing this country, and that's why I joined politics. I can tell you, because of some of this judgment, I'm already looking for a competent school of law to also go out and try and read law, because definitely I cannot understand the same subject matter. Two justices are staying within the same complex. One is saying PDP has a structure. Another one is saying PDP does not have structure. For God's sake, let us, it is supposed to be justice.
Yes. Let me ask very quickly. The court is saying that PDP didn't have a structure. You were not even supposed to be on that ballot. But did INEC clear you to be a candidate of the PDP during that election? And then do you think that this is an indictment on the process of INEC? Because if INEC didn't flag it off as an issue, and the courts are now saying it is an issue, there's something wrong there.
That cannot be an indictment on INEC. That I can tell you categorically. INEC cleared me, gave me certificate of return, just like what Justice William Olamide too did. These are law. It is only that question, you can only direct it to Justice Tukuru to answer, because I was cleared. Because my form was sold to me from the National Working Committee. PDP is a registered party, and I was clearly nominated, and during the primaries, my form was signed by Bature. It has nothing to do with the structure in Plateau State. And so exactly, INEC is very much in compliance with the law. And Justice Williams, in passing the 7 judgments in our favor in this same tribunal, is in compliance with the law. But the other one, whether the justice, how he looked at it and nullified my nomination, is what I don't know.
Okay, I'd like to ask you this really quickly. Let's dial back a bit to even before the elections. Why did you have your own party primary that made you emerge as... when and where did you have your own party primary that where you emerged as the candidates for Senate?
We had our party primaries on the 24th of May, 2022, in a hotel they call Comfort Hotel in Shandam, which is the senatorial capital of Plateau South Senatorial District. Precisely, they started casting ballot around 1 a.m. of 25th.
Who were the delegates
May,
there?
2022.
What made up the mix of the delegates?
Ad hoc delegates.
Okay.
The delegates were ad hoc delegates that were elected by the National Working Committee from Abuja, supervised by the National Vice Chairman, North Central, Theophilus Dakashan. You can confirm all this.
Okay. Who was the party chair of the party in the States when you had your own conference, when you had your own primaries?
The party chair was Chris Hassan, and it is still Chris Hassan.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Well, Bali, Senator Bali, well, I guess we can also ask you other questions beyond Plateau. You started about saying we all love the good things of life. And this was in the context of the United Arab Emirates lifting the visa ban on Nigeria, and Emirates Airlines and Etihad Airlines now coming back in and out of Nigeria. What do you think of that effort by the president to get the UAE to reverse his decision with regard to visa ban and official airline of the kingdom coming in and out of Nigeria?
Okay, thank you very much. I know that Nigerians like traveling to Dubai. Even those who don't want traveling to Dubai, they like using Emirates, because definitely if you've entered Emirates airplane, most of the airplanes are new, very spacious. Like I told you, I'm an aviator, so I know what. So that is number one. And if you look at it very well, President Tinubu said renewed hope for Nigeria. He took up this subsidy and this just to make sure that Nigeria becomes a better place. The president cannot be everywhere. One thing that we must learn is patriotism. And you cannot buy patriotism, no matter how good a leader you are. Only justice can give you patriotism. People perceive that they are being treated fairly and justly. That's the only thing that can encourage patriotism. And that in itself will reduce insecurity. That is what I'm saying, that we like good things. While some are doing their job very well, like Mr. President, trying to see good things, definitely some sectors are performing below expectations. That is what I'm saying. Because, like I said, I, as a two-star general, I think my pension is good enough, no matter how bad the economy is, for me to enjoy my pension. But I think the zeal I have to ensure that we have a better society for ourselves and our children, that's why I joined this politics. And I am trying my best there. And like I said, now that I'm being challenged in this legal side, Dr. Ruben Abati, I'm looking for a law school to go and read law too.
I think Dr. Ruben Abati can give his recommendation as to the best law school to go to.
General, you know that politicians are also closet lawyers. On this program, we've seen many politicians quoting sections of the law, particularly in relation to election petitions. So it's a good thing. After all, law is one of the noblest professions known to man.
All right. Since you're here, I would like to crave your indulgence to take you back to the last time you were with us, where you had spoken on the president's response to the Niger coup. I mean, following that, we've had another coup, and I just want to ask, with regards to the handling of it. Thankfully, as the northern members of the House had said that the president should listen to advice from the north, that we shouldn't go to war with them. Thankfully, they've are still exploring diplomatic channels. But nothing has been done in terms of reversing to status quo in Niger. Would you think success has been recorded? Has this been successful thus far?
Well, I will talk militarily. I know that the status quo is still the same. I cannot remember hearing, whether formally or informally, from any of my friends or colleagues who are still serving in the military, that our soldiers are in the borders. Of course, I also know some of these Nigerian Burkinabe. I know that, yes, there's a build-up from Mali and hoping to kind of like support them. But at least something as good, just like Rufai told me the last time. The last time I traveled last week from Europe, at least we passed over the Niger airspace. So something small has gone. But one thing with this coup of a thing is that, honestly, coup will definitely fizzle out. Just like, in my own opinion and calculation, it is almost impossible in Nigeria now. It will reach a stage where all these countries you are hearing, you remember before, as if it was a recurrent decimal in Nigeria. There are some things which I cannot just tell you on the television here. Naturally, within the military circle, some political leaders have made it. And it's going to be extremely difficult. Remember, even a country like Turkey, there was an attempted coup. Did it succeed? No. Because somehow you will outgrow some of these things. And I will just tell you this way, that the issue of going to war, first of all, a coup is a risky business. So when you say you want to forcefully go and remove somebody, it's like he's committing suicide, because when you remove him, the government you are installing will round them up, try them and kill them. So they will prefer to die on that seat. Our leaders must understand this. So diplomacy is the best way.
Okay. Anyway, when people talk about the coup that happened in Turkey, I'm asking myself, was it a phantom coup or a real attempted coup? You know, that's another debate with Edora. But I want to tell you about, I want to talk to you about...
Let me answer you that one.
No, let's
go ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about something that is happening that is even worse than a coup. Is the insecurity in Plateau State. My heart bleeds for Plateau anytime I hear mass killings and the likes. Where are we as regards that issue? Those invaders from Bangu to other local government areas now. Because agricultural produce is stifled. I don't know when the planting season will start again in places like Mango and Bokos and areas like that. What would you say about that? That's worse than any coup for me. Constantly people being killed.
Honestly, it's not only Plateau State, but I know Plateau State is badly hit. The truth of the matter is, this is why I am even here. If you remember very well, yes, the Mango issue. I am sure you are also aware, I deliberately didn't come here. There was this order from the police that some local government, elected local government chairmen should go back to their offices. Meanwhile, these local government chairmen that were suspended by the 9th Assembly, they went to the court saying that the 9th Assembly did not have the right or the governor implementing it. When we were there, we saw a circular from the police that they should go back to their offices. Honestly, that was another time bomb. But luckily enough, the federal security agencies, I don't know what they must have done. I've not discussed with the governor. That quenched a lot of things. So I'm telling you, now this judgment again, I must be frank with you. I have nothing against Governor Lalong. After all, he is a minister. I was the first to even nominate him. There is tension in Plateau Southern Zone because the mandate given to me, we have over 184,000 people as against my opponent with 90-something. We are talking like Abuja Stadium, about 5 stadiums, where I have a supporters of over 3 stadiums. And then my opponent has supporters of less than 2 stadiums. Overnight, you said the man with supporters of less than 2 stadiums should be their leader. Of course, there's tension there. But me as a retired general, you can only start trouble. You don't know how it will end. So I've always preached peace. As I'm talking to you now, I know myself and a lot of others are spending even their personal resources to tell people to understand Plateau State is home of peace and tourism. And honestly, we need peace in that place so that people can go to their farms. Like you rightly pointed out, potato, tomatoes. These were things we enjoyed, and the money from the proceeds where we were sent to schools. So I am praying, but prayers alone cannot do it. I'm telling you the truth. We must do things as individuals, and that is what that is what I'm talking about, this patriotism. God cannot send angels to repair Plateau State or Nigeria. Nigerians will repair and bring peace to Plateau State and the country at large.
Okay, Senator, you quoted earlier on Justice Olamide, who had ruled that, well, PDP has a structure in Plateau State, and that the issue of nomination of a candidate for an elected position is a real pre-election matter, which is time-bound, and then issues of local standing, which he also raised in that ruling. But, okay, you may say that the PDP has a structure in Plateau. One of the things your lawyers are going to push at the Court of Appeal. But how united is the PDP in Plateau State? Is it true that the party is still factionalized?
Thank you very much. Well, the party is not factionalized. We only have one PDP. Like I told you, the man who took PDP to court, That's the initial, about 3 years ago, where all these legal tussles started. His name is Bitrus Kaze, Honorable. He participated in the last election that produced Chris Hassan and congratulated him. The video was, and there is INEC report, the video was played before the tribunal, the governorship tribunal. So PDP, we have one PDP in Plateau State, but of course, in politics, like I've told you, in it, there are interests. You can never satisfy anybody's interest. And that is not only just PDP. Whether it's APC or it's NNPP, I'm sure you know what is going on even in NNPP. Politicians, interest. And that is why I am appearing here and appealing to Nigerians. Interests should be taken aback. Let us promote patriotism. Patriotism can only be done only through justice. So, of course, we are encouraging the Plateau PDP to ensure that they are fair to everybody so that we will continue to maintain that one structure. But we have only one PDP. But, of course, there are a few people that are not happy with even my own, of course, even my own election as a senator representing the Southern Zone. It is normal. Even your children at home, not every child will like the father like others. But efforts are being made every day to ensure that we are united in Plateau State.
Well, we wish you all the best as you go to the Court of Appeal. And on that note, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us on The Morning Show.